Hey everybody, it's Andy Cloudy Milder, your self-proclaimed mogul of metal. Doing things a little bit differently today for an update. Doing an update live. It's Sunday, Sunday, still Sunday, 1st of May. Bank holiday weekend in the UK, so I can stay up all night, have a couple of beers, listen to some tunes, show you some records that I've bought. I've not done an update for a while. In fact, I've not done that many videos recently. And rather than actually think ahead and plan something, yes, I normally plan something, which you may not notice. I thought I would just wing it tonight. I've got a playlist on my FLAC player that I'm going to play tonight. Hey Jürgen, hi Dwayne, Mike, good to see you. You always wonder whether people are going to show up on these things, but I'm going along with it anyway. So it's bank holiday weekend here, broadcasting live from the 136th floor of Cloudy Towers from an undisclosed location and all that jazz. So this playlist I've got on at the moment, there's a bit of a theme to it. See if you can guess what it is, if you can actually hear it. I don't know. Never know when I'm playing whether the music is too loud or you can't hear me above it. Anyway, I've got a few bits of VCLT, although not vinyl related, this time around. Got a surprise package in the mail from my mate Sander. He's not a VC guy, although I think he pops in here occasionally and has a laugh at my videos. But yeah, I wasn't expecting anything. Didn't recognise the handwriting or the postmark or wherever it came from. But he put a little note in there, said he found a couple of things when he was out digging, and thought I would appreciate them. Both Iron Maiden related, so I appreciate them anyway. The first was this, it's like a promo for the Legacy of the Beast graphic novel. Not something that I would normally collect. This looks like it was a preview edition with from Metal Hammer, but it was nice that he saw it and thought of me and put it in. So I had a quick read of it and say this is a rabbit hole I don't really want to go down collecting things like heavy metal comics. There's a lot of bands that seem to be doing that now. Anthrax have done one, Judas Priest have done one, I think Dio were doing one as well. So that was kind of nice. That'll go. I've got a few sort of. I've got a load of books and things sort of sit nicely with that. But the other thing that was a big surprise was this. It's a Iron Maiden cassette. It looks like I've not looked in detail. It's a Fame issue of it, so I'm guessing it's like around 85. My vinyl reissue of I've got a vinyl reissue of the Iron Maiden album from 1985. He said in his note it looks a pretty back edition, but I thought you'd like it for your collection. Well, this was in pretty bad. You can still see the scuffs and things on it, but a good clean down, and that cleaned up all right. You can see it's not the color on my video, although that may not be perfect, but it looks a little bit washed out, and the J card is a bit stuck together, so it's got a bit of water damage in there at some point. It's a little bit crinkly, but still all readable. There's nothing on the inside of the J card either, so you're not missing out on any of the text. And the tape itself, I don't know what that metal plate is. Someone out there will know what that little metal plate is underneath the sort of the reading head, whatever it is, and that's got a little bit of rust on it. So there's obviously been some moisture in here. We've got a little bit of the text is rubbed off there. Side 2 is kind of okay, but this thing, man, it wasn't rewound. It was sort of stuck in the middle, so I fully expected it to be full of dropouts, full of warps, just warp tape. Exploitation, wear and tear for something the best part of 30 plus years old, but it plays perfectly. Sounds really, really good. So Delighted by that. Thanks, Sander. It's the UK edition as well, so it doesn't have Sanctuary on it, which is perfect for me. As much as I love that song, Sanctuary, I've said this before, it does not belong on the debut album. But don't get me started on that. Oh, good. We've got some people joining. I've not been to remember to have a look at the comments. So let's see. Said hello to Jürgen already. Lazarus. Kim. What else do we have here? Right, Scott. Sure, I saw a Metal Mickey in there somewhere. Derek, nice to see you. Yeah, cool. Except regardless of the condition, I was quite happy to have it and stick it in. I've got a US copy of this as well on tape. But this takes me up. I meant to check this before I started, but I think this takes me up to about at least 10 or 11 different copies or pressings of this debut album. I did a video on everything I had last year sometime, and I've added at least 2 or 3 more copies since then. So yeah, very nice to have that one. Yeah, so that was from my friend Sander up here in Edinburgh. Finally got hold of a copy of Hypertrace by Scanner. Great mid-80s German power metal. The proper type of power metal for me. This is only the power metal I really like. This was a nice gift from Jim Davis. I'm sure you all know Jim on the VC. He said he found a copy of this. It was a sealed copy. It's a 2016 Massacre Records reissue. I've been looking for this on CD or vinyl forever. And he sent it over in a package to Mark G with a C, who sent it on to me. So I was delighted by that. If you've not heard Scanner, or certainly Hypertrace, they kind of sound to me like if Michael Kiske hadn't joined Halloween and Kai Hansen continued singing with them, this may well have been the follow-up to Walls of Jericho. One of my favorite covers of all time. Absolutely killer stuff. I don't even know that well to tell you which songs to check out. Check out the whole album. It's absolutely superb. Let's go back to that. Well, Sanctuary was never on the original UK pressing of Iron Maiden. It was added to the US version for some reason. I don't know if it's because it was released as a single and they maybe thought it would increase the sales by adding that on. Who knows? But yeah, so I've started down this rabbit hole. So here we go. Yeah, so this is the US copy that I've got for comparison. As you can see on this one, we have Sanctuary on side 2, but it is not. Yeah, I could be able to read that. Too much light. It's not on the UK pressing. Never has been. So whenever I hear that song, as much as I love it, it just doesn't fit. But again, I need to not go down that rabbit hole because I'll go on a completely different rant all over again. So Scanner, yeah, brilliant. This and the second album as well, which I've forgotten the name. That's another thing about doing these things live as well, and not preparing. What's the name of the second album? Terminal something. Not Terminal Redux. That's another band. Finally got around to picking up the last but one Magnum album, The Serpent Rings. They've got a new album out this year as well. I do eventually pick up anything that is Magnum. I am more of an 80s Magnum fan, if I'm honest. But I do have everything that they've got. I've got everything on vinyl up to about 1990, and then everything on CD after that. Their vinyl pressings now are incredibly limited edition. Oh, I love the song. Bit of Warfare. Terminal Error. Thank you. Yeah, so this one came out in what, 2018, 2020. God, of course it's 2022 now. And I held off for the longest time because I did listen to it on YouTube, I think it was, or Amazon Music, one of the two, and it didn't really click with me, and I wasn't going to spend the sort of money they wanted for it. Terminal Earth, that's it, not Terminal Error. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I wasn't going to pay that, but eventually it did come down in price, and so the CD player at the moment, and I grabbed it, and I've actually got a copy, and I've been listening to it here. I really, really enjoy it, but I'm in the same boat with the brand new album that they've had this year. I'm not going to pay top whack for it. I'm a bit of a tight ass, so I will wait to get that one. But in the meantime, I will enjoy this one, even though I'm a couple of years behind. Magnum of Serpent Rings. Messing up my system now. Yeah. So Jürgen steered me a bad one. Mike corrected, and now it's Jürgen with a egg on his face, and not me, hopefully. So that was a good deflection away from that. Okay. Fury. Now this is a band I would have described before hearing this album as sort of more modern British power metal. It's called Born to Sin. It's out this year. Now I've got everything Fury have released. I got introduced to them probably about 4 years ago now. I saw them live at Bannerman's in Edinburgh, and they're not signed to any label. I don't know if that's by choice. I mean, they're certainly good enough to be signed. They're certainly better than a lot of bands that proclaim to be power metal these days. They are a 4-piece, although they're a 4-piece, but they list 5 members of the band now because they've added a backing singer. Now, it's taken me a little bit of time to click with this album. It's a bit different, and part of it is down to the backing singer. She's got an amazing voice. There she is. There, she's got an amazing voice, but it's not a metal voice at all. And this is very much a sort of hard rock metal band. So the songs are incredibly good. It's not like power metal though at all. It's hard rock in places. I guess there's a bit of boogie in there as well. Heavy metal at times. It's all over the spectrum. Out of their catalogue though, it's not my favourite. They've just kind of changed a little bit. But what I need to do is go back and listen to all this stuff again. This is about their 4th or 5th album. It's either 5 albums or 4 albums in their EP. But definitely a band worth checking out if you've not heard of them. So this is their new release, Born to Sin, from Fury. I might have shown this box set before. I may have done it on a live stream. Bit of Saxon. Yeah, so this is I got sent Budgie CD by Greg the Egg. I think he was a bit disgusted that even me being from Wales, I wasn't a fan of Budgie. Budgie, of course, from Cardiff, which was my hometown growing up. And I've listened to a few of the things in the past, but never really thought enough about getting them. But I listened to Power Supply. Power Supply, this is their kind of more new wave of British heavy metal influence album. But these are 3 albums from 73 to 75, and they're really good. I don't like any album start to finish. They're a little bit, again, kind of all over the spectrum. They're a bit of 70s heavy metal, but also 70s hard rock and very 70s sound in some cases. But there's 3 albums in there. There's Never Turn Your Back on a Friend, In for the Kill, and Bandolier. Now, everybody knows Budgie from the songs Crash Course in Brain Surgery that Metallica covered on the $5.98 EP from this very album. And I love their version of it. I have to admit, I'm one of those people that do prefer the Metallica version because I did hear it first. And there's no going back. That's kind of what they look like. But they're a very good band, and I went on a couple of weeks when I was just playing mainly In For The Kill over and over. That would be my recommendation. But the other two, cool as well. This is a great box set to grab some Budgie if you want to see what it's all about. It's really cheap as well, or was on Amazon at the time. Schoolboy Error, trying to put things back. But yes, Budgie, our MCA album, 73 to 75. Wet my whistle. Feel free to ask any questions as we go along. I've not particularly got too much format for this other than just showing some stuff and having a chat if anyone wants to. I've had this for years, and I just grabbed some time yesterday to give it a listen. This is Music of Mass Destruction. It's Anthrax live from Chicago. I didn't even get to listen to the whole thing. I think I only listened to the first 8 songs, but this is John Bush era Anthrax, and it's brilliant. I mean, a lot of people will instantly say they prefer Joey Belladonna Anthrax, and I do too. I mean, who wouldn't? That's the Anthrax sound. But with John Bush, they put out some absolutely fantastic albums. And the live versions I've heard on this, Room for One More, Safe Home, and Nobody Knows Anything, they are absolutely superb songs. I didn't even know when I bought this that I had a CD as well, so I'm going to have to rip the CD and give that a listen to. But Music of Mass Destruction, this came out in, I think the show was early 2000s, but the DVD came out in 2004, or this version did. Anyway. I'll take them. I'd say take them both, but do like Electric by Metallica or Diamond Head. I don't remember the Metallica version of it, unless it's on that Garage Days CD that they did. I'll have to check that out. I'm not sure I've heard the Metallica version, but I love the Diamond Head version. I love all Diamond Head. I think they're absolutely superb band. Again, I discovered them through Metallica, and I love the Metallica versions of the songs that I've heard. But I know Diamond Head well enough now to talk about certainly their early catalogue. And their last 2 albums have been absolutely superb as well. I've seen them live pre-pandemic. They came to Edinburgh every year. There was a charity gig that they played, and they'd always play at the same bar, which is the Bell Angel, or club really, and absolutely superb. I have to check what song this was. This is Rogue Male, Animal Man. I don't remember this song. So yeah, the playlist is, all the songs are linked if you can actually hear it in the background and listening along. What have I got next? Oh, another DVD I picked up recently. Not heard this one. I was going to play this one tonight, but not got the chance. I'm on here instead. That's the Testament Steelbook edition of Dark Roots of Thrash. Is this double again? Again, this is a CD and DVD. Yeah, double CD DVD pack. I do love live albums, and I always buy live metal DVDs whenever I come across them, and I never get around to watching them. I've probably got about. I don't buy them crazily. I'm not pick up everything I possibly can, but whenever I see them cheap, I pick them up. Never go around to watch them. I've got about 12 to 15 or so that I've never watched yet. Yeah, so I forgot to do the thing when people show hardback stuff. I forgot to tap it so you know it was a hardback in case I was lying. But yes, it's a beautiful steel book. Bit of a. I'm sure these slipcase things were designed to throw away when you bought them, but we all keep them. But it's obviously got nothing to keep it in place, so that's going to get damaged. But there we go. Looking forward to playing Playing that one. What have we got next? Vinyl next. A few more records to show then. We'll see whether I stick around or not. So I hadn't really planned. But Professor Black, I Am the Rock. Professor Black has a lot of projects on the go over the years. The one that most people know will be High Spirits. Whereas High Spirits, there he is, Chris Black. Whereas High Spirits is very much a sort of melodic, traditional heavy metal, modern sounding, but traditional metal style band. This album here, I Am the Rock, is Chris Black's tribute to Motorhead. And it's a tribute in that all the songs are inspired by Motorhead. They're not covers, but he's a massive Motorhead fan. In fact, he was on Marty Worm's channel one time. He did like a 4-hour stream just talking about ranking the Motorhead albums. It was absolutely fascinating. Really talented musician. But all these songs, they kind of sound like High Spirits does Motorhead. Really, really good. If you love Motorhead and you like High Spirits, definitely worth a listen. It's on High Roller. I've had this for years, but not really had a chance to digest it. High Roller are brilliant, but they're one of those companies now that have decided that because of Brexit, they can't possibly deliver to the UK. Lots of labels do, but there's High Roller, Die Victims Productions, as well as another one that just refused to post to the UK, which is a shame. I know it's going to cost more. I know it's going to have an added tax, import tax associated with it, but I would still buy from them. But no dice. That's what we got here. Hey Eric, good to see you. That looks like a left-handed bassist. It does. Is that a problem? Should I not like it with a left-handed bassist? I'll leave all the filthy, horrible stuff to you, Mark, if that's all right. I'm more into the pure sound of heavy metal, where God's heavy metal. Good to see you, Mark. MSG. I think this completes my 80s MSG. Really late to the party on MSG, not even MSG, Michael Schenker. Well late to the party, I mean, only in the last sort of 5 or 6 years, and this is one I was missing. It's got Gary Barden on vocals, and it is probably by far my least favourite of the Gary Barden albums. Nothing wrong with Gary Barden or Michael Schenker on this at all, but it's a lot more keyboard heavy than the other couple that had Gary Barden on. It was very much of its time. Now, whereas the first couple of albums have aged well, this hasn't really aged at all. But still, it's good songs. I did have another DVD that I meant to show at some point. It was Michael Schenker Fest live in Tokyo, and he played a couple of songs of that were off here. No frills. What's this on? This is 83 on Chrysalis Records. Lovely condition. I'm picking up less and less secondhand 80s records these days because they're just not worth what I'm prepared to pay for them. They're obviously worth what they're worth, but they're getting my money. But this only cost me about £5, which is a steal by today's prices. Lovely condition, but as I say, not one that I will play a great deal. But I needed it. I needed it for the collection. I had to have it. It's like a lefty bass too. You see, I don't look at things like that. I just listen to the music. But plenty of people out there know far more about music and instruments and things than I ever will. And, it's a good spot, a lefty bass. So don't come on here, Mark, and distract my wonderful audience. Really not. Just because you're a bit of a superstar rock musician yourself. I thought you know better. Oh my God, there's a little bit of a lefty union going on in here at the moment. That's a funny story, Mark. I don't think I've heard you talk about that one for some time. You have to let us know that one again sometime. Right. A collection full of this one. Now, this is from a series of 3. The series is Fourth Degree Burns. There were 3 sort of 12-inch EPs released as part of it, and I found 2 probably about 6 or 7 years ago. I thought, I'll find the 3rd one just to complete the collection, and I never did. And this was actually the same seller. It's a little bit beat up. It was the same seller that I got the MSG from. It's kind of like a taster really for Mahogany Rush. Now, out of the 3 in the series, so there's a Mahogany Rush, there's a Ted Nugent, and there's a Molly Hatchet. And I bought them when I was in the mind frame where I would just buy anything because it was rock and metal related and it was on vinyl. A lot more discerning now, but I still wanted to get this one. Better condition really, but what had it is. It wasn't 149, that's for sure, but it satisfied that itch to complete the 3. But Frank Marino, it's certainly not a completer. Certainly don't need all of this stuff, but he has got some tremendous songs and albums out. Definitely worth checking out if you don't know Frank Marino. Got some Avenger. This is their 2nd album, Killer Elite. Another great Back on Black reissue. Back on Black have done... So these guys had 2 albums out in the 80s. I think it was only 2. And then they released an album in the last few years, and they're all available on Back on Black. I've got the latest album actually still in my inbox. I've only listened to a couple of times. That will pop up again in another video. But Avenger were a kind of new wave of British heavy metal band that were maybe a little late to the party. So this is a 2018 reissue. And I think the album originally came out in 83 or 84, although I'm not seeing anything here. Is there a write-up for this? I'm sure there was a write-up somewhere. They kind of consider themselves a little bit of a new wave of heavy metal meets kind of proto-thrash, but there's nothing thrashy about them. It's straight up new wave of British heavy metal for me. So Revenge Attack, Run for Your Life, Steel on Steel. It kind of sounds like a Man of War song, doesn't it? Dangerous Games, really cool stuff. So yeah, if you've not heard of Avenger, definitely worth listening. Both the first 2 albums, they're both available on Back on Black. Excellent early British heavy metal. Well worth checking out. Night Demon, seeing this one showed a lot. This is their Year of the Demon, which they are proud to present. They released a number of singles during lockdown in 2020, and this is a compilation of them. In fact, it contains all 5 out-of-print 7-inch releases, including rare B-sides. I've got a little bit of an issue with this one. It's a good album. The singles are brilliant, but And in fact, you can see all 5 of them there. But it's a compilation. It doesn't flow as an album. And whereas I don't mind the odd cover track, a whole side 0.1 tracks are cover versions, and it doesn't grab me as much as a Night Demon album would. And I absolutely love Night Demon. But the singles were Empire's Fall, Kill the Pain, Are You Out There, and Visteria. I think In Trance Live has God, my mind. Uli John Roth on it. It's a bit no frills. Was a decent price, so I grabbed it. But this is the second copy I had. Now, as the hype sticker said, this is 180 gram vinyl. And it feels like it's more. It really is heavy, but it's not the tightest fitting jacket. And even though it was sealed and it was packaged well by EMP, this thing obviously got thrown about. And the first one I got had a massive seam split on the top. Personally, I do not see the point or the hype of 180 gram vinyl in a lot of cases. I bet 180 gram vinyl is the cause of more seam splits than any other reason for modern music. Maybe if I had a top of the range system and I was an audiophile, I would be able to tell the difference between a standard vinyl, a standard sort of fairly flimsy, normal weight record and 180 gram vinyl, but I don't. And the number of records I've had turn up 180 gram vinyls proudly announced on the label that have got massive seam splits in is just ridiculous. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Is 180 gram is that the best thing you could possibly get for sound quality, or do you really not give a shit as to how heavy your record weighs? Personally, I don't. How many tens, thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds, dollars are wasted by records getting returned because they got seam splits in? Last couple. I think it's the last couple. Yeah, so not opened this one yet, but in fact I will do it now. Holy Terror, Terror and Submission, another Back on Black reissue. I saw this for such a ridiculous price. I had to grab a couple of copies, so I've got one to send out. But as I say, yeah, it was super cheap. It was like I can't leave it there. I have to have it, even though I already own it. And the original came out, got it here, on Under One Flag. Killer US thrash metal. This will be on gatefold because it's Back on Black. Nicely packaged with the record itself not inside, so no seam splits here. We've got Dissonance Productions catalogue. Here we have Terror and Submission. Absolutely love this album. I don't need 2 copies though, so I've got to decide whether I really want to keep the reissue. Maybe I'll sell it or trade it sometime, or whether I'll actually sell my OG. It's in good nick, but I've got their second album on the Back on Black reissue, so it kind of made I kind of had to have 2 same editions, so they're side by side on the shelf, just to make the world a better place to live in for everybody. Yeah, there's the gatefold, nice thrash collage as you'd expect, and the lyrics as well. It's just on black. Oh no, it's not on black. Oh no, it's on a quite a strange splatter, really. White, and it looks like somebody's just got a big fat red marker and drawn lines all over it. But I had no idea what colour it was. But there we go. Holy Terror, Terror and Submission. So Holy Terror has Kurt Kilfelt on guitar. He was on He used to be an Agent Steel who's on the Skeptics Apocalypse album before he jumped ship and created Holy Terror. Also has Mike Alford as well, who went on to form Mind Wars. Now, that's a band I need to check out as a cheap version of their album going on eBay as well. So I'm going to have a listen to that and see if it's worth it. I've had about 4 or 5 albums out more recently. Let's check in on the vinyl weight debate. Yep, I'll go with that one. I'll take your word for it, Jürgen, because I will never have a €5,000 stereo. Yep, looks like everyone's on the same page here. Exactly. I've got some records that just wobble all over the place, and they don't walk because they wobble all over the place. They just keep going back to the normal flatness that they should be, and they sound absolutely fantastic. So I think we put that debate to bed. Record companies, if you're watching, save vinyl, cut down on the weight. The last one that I've got to show you guys is another Holy Terror. Another reason why I wanted to get the first album on Back on Black, because this is also a Back on Black reissue of Live Terror. Despite only having a couple of albums out, still got a double live album. We've got Side A and B live from Belgium, Side C from Florida, and Side D from Italy. Let's have a wee look. That's good to know, Mark. But I'm gonna have a listen to them maybe later tonight and pull the trigger, because it's there's some good stuff on eBay at the moment, decent prices, or certainly in my range. That I want to grab when I can. So I'm not buying as much vinyl as I was, but if I see a bargain, I'm going to go for it. So this is a double LP, so similar inner sleeves than before. Oh, right. So so this other album here, El Revenjo, I think it's a compilation album. I was nearly going to pull the trigger on it, but I looked at it. I think it's because they've only got 2 albums out. It's not really going to offer too much more. Anyone want to take a guess at the colour? Don't remember this one again. There we go. Got the red marker out again, but this one is a clear vinyl. Not heard this one yet. But we'll give this one a spin later too. I don't normally show stuff that I haven't heard before, but no doubt I will show it again in a proper update, not one of these little half-assed ones that I'm doing now, and tell you what I think about it. That's really all I had to show. I'm happy to stick around. I've got a few more beers to go, so if anyone wants to have chuck some things in the comments, and I'll answer your questions. Right, so I had a look at that. So Mike on his Metal Mickey Facebook page put a link to this article about Ionic originals, and it kind of seemed a bit strange. Like I can't remember, was it the size of a 10-inch record, but it was more like it looked like a vinyl, but was supposedly CD, had the robustness of a CD. But I don't think it will catch on. It'll be like the mini disc. I mean, you've already got CDs, you've already got vinyl. If CDs were supposed to completely replace vinyl, they almost did for a bit, but both formats are back now with a vengeance. But if you've not heard of this Ionic Originals format, it's an interesting read. Go and have a look at it. But it's certainly not something that I'm particularly going to jump on. But then again, watch my videos in a year or two's time, and I may well be all over it. The fickle nature of a collector that I am. There we go, $12.99. It's probably the same seller that I got it off. Delivered as well. No, you didn't. It's been shite. Yeah, there we go. A much better description than I managed here. Morning, Brendan. Hope you're having a good weekend. So, yeah, anybody... I don't know if you've been able to hear what's going on in the background, but anyone have an idea what the theme of all the tracks that you've heard so far? Probably not be able to hear it too much. So next weekend, next Saturday night, me and the boys from Contact in Blood are going to be back on your airwaves, and we're going to do a 1986 special. So this playlist that I've been had on tonight has been all tracks from 1986, but all album titles. So this is Orgasmatron from Orgasmatron. So before that, we've had, well, I don't know, it's on random, but there's been basically every track that you've heard has been the title track off the album. So I'm trying to get into the spirit of 1986. Archie, this is if you're subscribed to my channel, you may not be after I give my opinions on Def Leppard, so I will try and be kind. Long-time viewers of my channel know that I'm not a fan of Def Leppard at all. Musically they're pretty good. I've never listened to them that much, to be honest with you. I don't own a single Def Leppard album. The thing for me is Joe Elliott's voice. I just can't stand it. It just sounds like nails down a chalkboard to me. So unfortunately, I'm out when it comes to Def Leppard. But you know, lots of people love them, just not for me. Bon Jovi, I've give or take, really. I jumped on the bandwagon in 1987 with Slippery When Wet. I bought the album. I think my sister bought it for me for Christmas. First gig I ever went to that I've talked about a lot, Castle Donington, 1987. My Donny mug. Had, of course, Bon Jovi headlining. So the first gig I ever went to, Bon Jovi were the headliners. Did they deserve to be headliners in 87? Commercially, yes. But compared to the other bands that were on the bill, from kind of, I guess, an experience and they didn't really deserve to be number one. But the audience loved them. I secretly loved them, seeing them live, but I was a impressionable 16-year-old kid at the time. So yeah, 86, great. Yeah, I've been so this one as well. I put this one on because it's on, but I've got to skip. I can't sit here and listen to that one. I'm sorry. That was another album that I've still got from 1986, but I don't want to go too much into 86 because we're going to talk about this next weekend, and you'll hear all my opinions then. Yeah, the year of Turbo, but Turbo is not on this playlist because the song is Turbo Lover and the album was Turbo. It had to be title tracks from the albums to make this playlist. Yeah, I mean, lots of people do. I just don't. It's just not for me. Yeah, so I've heard. There are better people than me to talk about the quality of or not of Def Leppard within the VC itself. Okay, so I think I'm going to finish up here. To be honest, it's longer than I would have done had it been a normal recorded video, but I also don't want it to go on for hours and give people who haven't had a chance to watch it not a marathon video to get through. Plus, I've got some Holy Terror to go and chuck on. So thank you for those who joined on the live stream tonight. You've been good company. And if I don't see you beforehand, I may have a video out in a week, actually. I'm trying to get back into this swing of things again and put a bit more regular content out. But if I don't see you beforehand, then look out for Contact in Blood. As soon as our art department gets the graphics out, I will stick up a placeholder, and you'll be able to set a reminder and come and see us. I think it's probably, we normally do about 9:30 BST, British Summer Time. So if you can join us, it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of differences of opinions. The four of us have all got slightly different taste, but all within the metal variety. So thanks all for watching, and see you again soon. Bye. Where's the button? Bye.